Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we are starting ReZero Season 2 Part 2. We have waited about 3 months-ish, which is nowhere near as long as we waited from Season 1 to Season 2. So it's great that we didn't have to wait that long. We had kind of a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the first part, so that kind of, the time kind of sucked. Even though it wasn't that much time, it still sucked. But now we're finally to this part. And it's going to be weekly, like I did last season. We do this every Wednesday afternoon whenever I can get this done, so you guys will see this on here. If you want to see the uncut reaction, you want to see it early, right when I get it done, definitely check out patreon.com/ajrich123. I also did a kind of a review, an unusual type of video for ReZero, the first part of Season 2. Right after I finished, I made a video on it. I will put it up here somewhere, or you can find it on my channel. It was kind of unique, and I talked in length about the first part because there was just so much to talk about. So if you missed that and you didn't watch it, definitely check that video out, and also check out the playlist for this season. And let's go ahead and start. Okay, so it's coming right off the end of the last one. It's one of the last things that happened. It happens a lot. It's nice to see him act like this, though. I think it's something Subaru needed. God damn, he's stronger than Subaru. It's what he's missing. Somebody can actually talk about stuff too. The problem is you're asking the wrong people. I don't think he thought he could help him. Maybe it just didn't cross his mind. I know it didn't cross mine. That's a good friend, though. I like this version of him. I'd rather him talk like this. Let me tell you a story about me dying over and over and over again. It goes somewhere from dying, ice, and bunnies going in me. Oh, shit. He thought he'd kill himself or something. True. Maybe he's just thinking about it the wrong way. Oh, shit. That would change everything. That talk really helped. He seems so determined. He's full of them. I think his brain just got fucked. Maybe he could use her. If he can beat it, that would be a sight right there. Can he get it in one go, though? I think he's intrigued, though. Even if he doesn't think he can do it, I think he's at least intrigued. Everybody's clowning. Straight bet. That looked like... Didn't that look a little Persona-ish right there? I don't know why. Reminded me of like a Persona look. Maybe you have to help her figure that out. That might be part of getting through. Like getting through this loop. Maybe that's the way he does it. 現状、辺境博に協力するラムさんとラムさんを信用してるかは分かりました。それで、 though they technically are, we also saw how Ram got treated. So I feel like she technically is on Subaru's side. I wouldn't have said that season 1, but I can tell she is more so this season for sure. Also, I really think this is the best possible way Subaru's going to have a chance of getting out of this. And I remember saying this near the beginning of the season, when Emilia is going through her own trial and her own challenges, I feel like there's something, she always fails, right? It's like, maybe Subaru can do something either to make her pass herself, talk to her, find something, what's going on with her to make her feel like this the whole time. I think that's what he needs to do and focus on. Oh yeah, there's so many pieces that he's gonna have to maneuver and fit in. He really hasn't. For someone that loves her, he still doesn't know everything. He needs to get to know her better. Yeah. In this case, not necessarily a good thing. That's a friendship. Oh yeah, now that he knows everybody for the most part from before other deaths, he can talk to somebody like this. It's called a compromise. It's so weird seeing a lolly say that. Like, but of course, 1,000-year-old lolly. That makes it a little bit easier. He's not a bad guy, though, as we saw. I think there's potential in that. If he can get through this the right way, I think they could be friends. Yeah, it's like you have to introduce yourself again. Treat them like they're different people, even if they're copies. Okay, they really are different people then. They've like acquired different personalities. She revived him? They don't... So they don't keep the same memories. They really are separate people. No wonder he acts the way he does. That's what he needs to find out then. That information is what Subaru needs to go talk to him about. There's something missing there. Because then you can see what drives him and what his motivations are for the most part.
尻が汚れるよ。
丈夫。ちゃんと夜までにはぐっすり休んでおくから。
もうすぐ昼なのに、今から夜まで寝る宣言。
That was pretty creepy.
スバルの意地悪。ありがとう。
見たのか。俺に話してくれる気はあるか。話して楽になるなんて気や。
Finally, he can talk to her about this.
資格をくれないか。
Because how are you supposed to help her if you don't know what she's facing?
私が見た過去は多分私が眠る前の
中って。
私森でずっと氷漬けにされてたの。パックが見つけて出してくれるまで。
So if she was sleeping in the ice for that long, technically she could be well, technically, I guess if you think about when people are frozen in ice in a fantasy or in a world in general, right? In an anime, they keep the same appearance, they keep the same look, but that means she could be from way in the past, right? If she's been frozen for that long. Was that ever mentioned before? Because that's kind of a big thing. That means she's from like way in the past. I'm not trying to say this completely wrong and be completely off base here. I'm trying to, but that's what I'm breaking down in my head here. So there is a lot of shrouded in mystery. She's remembering something by talking about it? So they were frozen. Does that mean they could still be out there? Oh. No wonder she'd agree to everything. That motherfucker. So she probably feels bad about that as well. That's not even selfish. Who would think all he needed to do was just talk to her casually like this, and she'd remember stuff, and on top of it, let him in. She kind of let him in more than we've ever seen. Ah, you could talk to Ram about it. Yup. Ooh. I don't think he's gonna go that far yet. That would be the person to talk to too. So talking to Subaru is like making her remember stuff too. I wonder why that is. So weaker, possibly. Oh, oh shit! Did he talk? So he must have talked to Subaru. He must have told him something really important. How much does she not know? Is that?
心の拠り所という意味では不憫な話じゃよ。時にガーボー、スーボーのことじゃと関わりがあるようには見えん。
どうだかな。よぼよぼババアはとっとと寝ちりゃ大丈夫か。
うん。きっとね。朝には大丈夫になってるって。
So is she gonna start just remembering things randomly? It doesn't seem like she got all that information right away. Because Puck said it was going to make her really sad. And Puck said the second person that loves you second to me, she knows it's Subaru.
で、 握ってて朝までここにいて
So what did he tell him?
そうしたら
君ならお安いご用だよ。朝に明日になればだ。
That's so sweet. Who knew all you need to do was hold her damn hand?
優しい嘘をついたみんなを嫌い
Her
になら
mom.
ないで。エミリア、あなたの大人母様の嘘つき、パックの嘘つき、
What?
スバルの嘘つき。
What are we missing here?
エミリア様がどこへ行ったか知らない？
何？
エミリア様が行方をくらまされたのよ。今手分けして探し。
What else did she find out? It's drastic enough for her to just bail.
探して誰か来るかもしんねえからどっか行っと。妙な胸騒ぎがしやがる。
Please nothing bad. Please nothing bad. Though it is strange to be from his perspective here.
ご期待に添えなくて申し訳ありませんが。
Oh, this is part of the plan? So maybe he thought it was better for somebody that could talk to him than Subaru. It's good to have a plan on top of a plan on top of a plan.
守りたい。ごめんなさい。嫌いにならない。エミリア、優しい嘘をついたみんな。ごめんね。
God, this episode is so good. So much information here. It's hard to talk on it.
話をしようか。
So, I know there was a OVA. I forget what it's called right now, but there was an OVA. A lot of you guys were telling me I needed to watch it before I watched this season, this part 2 of this season, and I didn't get to it. I'm going to assume there's probably some information I don't know because I haven't seen this OVA. So I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, does everybody always watch the OVAs? I feel like, I guess there's some shows where OVAs are important, but I didn't really think about it that way. So I'm going to have to watch that before next episode. I'm going to watch the OVA that I missed because I feel like I might have been confused in some parts. Some of that information, especially where you see those snowflakes and it's showing these flashbacks, the way it's animated makes me feel like it was already animated because it's feeling more like a flashback, like a flashback of an episode. So that's why I'm kind of making this assumption that there's some of this information has got to be from an OVA I missed. Because the Emilia stuff, I don't know why. I think something that I feel like I'm missing is I don't know why she's calling everybody a liar. And it's been a while since I watched season 1 too, so I might just be missing something here, but I don't know why. Even with that little small flashback that it looked like her mom was talking to her right there, I just don't know. But I will say I love that Subaru actually is relying on somebody. It's something that this would never have worked out without having somebody helping you, being able to actually delve into his, like, actually make plans with somebody else. He's always been doing this solo, like setting up things. Yeah, he's asked for help before in season 1, but it's not the same. Not like this. Not when you're actually telling your intentions and you're actually telling somebody everything. So first of all, it puts that pressure on the other person immensely. So you have to fully trust them and they have to fully trust you. And I feel like he picked the right person when it comes to this. It's just like they've always had a really good back and forth, and you can tell he's such a good friend, right? I mean, for a while now, you can tell he's a really good friend. And I love that, and I love that he was able to, and he should have been, actually, now that I think about it, he should have been able to tell that, because there was, the time where he would step in front and help Subaru. Remember, he tried to save Subaru just in season 2 when he got himself killed. And that's somebody, if somebody's going to sacrifice themselves for you, that's somebody that you could rely on, somebody that you could trust and talk to. And actually, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it makes way too much sense to rely on him. So I love that. I think he doesn't get this far. Also, challenging Rosewall was a great thing, and he can't say no to it. I know he doesn't think that there's any way in hell Subaru's going to be able to get through this. But him being able to talk to Emilia, losing Puck like this, there's a lot of things that this can affect and make horrible for, you know, for them or whatever. But you tried everything else. You've died every other way. This is the only solution. Is to completely, I mean, throw out the script, try something new. And that's what it is. I mean, Subaru is completely going against the grain here. And more so than I think he has ever done, because he's trusting somebody to an extent where he needs that person for the plan to work out, to, like, as we saw. And I think Garfield also would be another important piece. I think him and Subaru would benefit from becoming friends. They're very similar. We saw a couple times before Subaru has died how the way I've liked Garfield as a character. We've really got some good development, like character development from him. Getting to know him better. He reminds me of Subaru in some ways. But there is still some missing information there about his past. But I really saw the similarities, and I think they would benefit from being friends, in general. But yeah, this episode I felt was very, it wasn't slow, because we had, remember our first episode of season 2, it always kind of revs up. It seems like rezero likes to rev up after a few episodes. This one was very informative. It was a good kind of balance, and us Subaru figuring out things, but also I feel like he's in the right direction now. This is what he needed, and that's why I like this episode, because it was just like nice. The OST was going over. You saw the Emilia and Subaru vibes, and I don't get me wrong, I'm huge on Rem and Subaru. I've freaking died on that when it comes to season 1 for sure, and even part of season 2. I'm starting to feel like Emilia and Subaru, now that we're getting to know her better, maybe it's the same way Subaru, you know, is like not knowing her enough. Now that we're getting to know her better, and like her barriers are being broken down, they're talking, like she's able now, and now that she is, you know, there's a bunch of like missed memories, and now she knows everything. I'm feeling like their connection and their chemistry is a lot better than I initially thought. And it's the same reason why Subaru like was not going anywhere with her, and why he just kept dying, and how things were just not perfect, because he wasn't getting to know her better. He was being greedy, and he wasn't thinking of her 100% and actually getting to know her. He wanted to save her. He loved her, but did he love her enough to actually get to know her and know everything? Because how do you love someone if you don't really dig in deep into their heart? And now that he's done that, as a viewer, I see the chemistry and the connection now. And I was seeing that last season too. It's just like more so, I'm still like him and Rem, but I see why he loves her. And I'm leaning more so than I was before. I will say that I understand why they would be a thing, and you got to appreciate the chemistry. It's hard to do that sometimes with characters. It's hard to be believable, and I feel the love feels really real in this. And a lot of shows reactions I do doesn't really have a ton of like love and chemistry in it. We see a lot of fight scenes. This show is really good on that feeling. I kind of like, it's refreshing, I would say. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You can also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/ajrich123 if you want to check uncut reactions, early releases. All my links are down below. If you haven't seen any of my reactions before for this, it's on the channel for season 2. I watched season 1 before I did reactions a long time ago, so they don't exist. But I do talk about season 1 a bit in the beginning of season 2. So definitely check those out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.